What's going on, good people? Happy Saturday to everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the building already. How's everybody doing? Let me know if the vocals are good. Let me know if the visual is good. Let me go ahead and set the mood right. We got some things to talk about tonight. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend already or had a good start to their weekend. For all the fathers out there, tomorrow's our day. It's our day tomorrow. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man, for sure. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the fathers out there. We get that one day. You know what it is. Get prepared to open up your socks and t-shirts that your family bought you. Socks and t-shirts. You know what it is. That's how they feel about us. Socks and t-shirts. Man, let me get this here. Get some music playing. See how we can do this. Yep. All right. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Let the algorithm know that we're in the building. Let the other New York Giants fans know that we are in the building tonight. Late night Giants talk. Shout out to everybody for joining. Y'all like that, right? Socks, t-shirts, and socks for Father's Day. Y'all already know what it is. My man Clinton Jones in the building says say hey Dash, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Clinton. You know what, Clinton? I don't know if you're a father or not, man, but if you are, happy Father's Day. And if you are a father in the chat, man, go ahead and let me know so I can say happy Father's Day to you, man. Shout out to my big brother in the building. Happy Father's Day to you. Said look good, sounds good. Thank you very much. Zoe Fisher, what's going on, Zoe Fisher? My man TP. Happy Father's Day to my man TP Way, the Giant. Make sure you guys subscribe to TP Way. He says, peace Dash in the chat. Love when I catch a stream on time. Let's go. Hey, have you come down from that high of being able to speak to Tiki Barber? Let me know, TP, because that was fantastic, man. And you know what's crazy? I missed the first part of that show. So I'm glad that Sneaky G replayed that part where he surprised you with Tiki. So I thought that was dope, man. I didn't know it at the time, too, when we were, on the stream with him. Speaking of that, though, special shout out to my man Sneaky G, man. 300th episode was fantastic. If you're not subscribed to Sneaky G, man, make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Big New York Giants fan, for those that are not familiar. Again, he had his 300th episode. And the crazy thing is he has some Giants legends on the stream that night. Tiki Barber was in the building. Leonard Marshall was in the building. Jared Bunch was in the building. And also YouTuber Madden King Eli Mack was also in the building. He's the one that actually called out one of the draft picks in this draft. I think it was a Thomas Fedoni draft pick. So shout out to Eli Mack for joining the squad too. And that was Tuesday. So if you didn't get a chance to go see that, it's up there. Just go to Sneaky G Man's page and you'll be able to see it. I think we went 3 hours long that day too, man, or that night. It was fantastic. All right, thank you. Wales, what's going on, Wales? There's a fight tonight, right, Wales? There's a couple fights tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Shirt and that's a fact, and a tie. That's it. You're lucky if you get the shirt. You might just get the tie. Tie, socks, shirts. You know what it is. Some of us don't even go to church. And we got a bunch of church socks that we got for Father's Day. What's going on, big sis? She says, hey, bro, what's going on, Tanya? My man Jesse in the building said, happy Father's Day to the homies. My man Tony Owens in the building says, what's up, Big Dash? Happy Father's Day, my G. I honestly believe our G-men can win 7 to 9 games this year. That's where I'm at, too. I'm at 7 to 10, Tony. I'm at 7 to 10, and if the OTAs keep happening, well, OTAs is wrapped up. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about OTAs, what we learned from the 3 weeks of OTAs, and we're going to do a quick minicamp preview, and then talk about some things that everybody else want to talk about. Luann, what's going on, Luann? OKC Donald says, happy Father's Day. He said, every time it's our day. That's a fact. Shout out to the fathers out there, man. Shout out to the real fathers out there. Y'all know who you are. My man Paul already got the questions. Pump the brakes, Paul, but I'm going to read your question. He said, you think Kayvon will be getting any socks and T-shirts in New York this season? That's funny. I wasn't expecting that. He said, I don't like the idea of trading. I don't want to trade him either. I don't want to trade him either because guess what? Right now, he's already paid for it. The money's already on the books. We got him this year. We got the 5th-year option. So the money's already on the books. So if these guys can go out there and play ball, it is what it is. Brian Burns is already signed, sealed, delivered. We got Abdul Carter for 5 years, 4 years in the fifth year option. If everything looks good, keep them all together. Can you keep them happy? That's the question. Can Shane Bowman keep everybody happy? That's what it's about. My man TP Wade says, my wife switched it up this year. She said, get whatever you want. That's on your Amazon list. Hopefully you got a long Amazon list. I got a long Amazon list too. I got YouTube equipment in my Amazon list. I got all that stuff. I had to tap your wife like, yeah, here the most expensive thing. The most expensive thing. Make sure you get that, TP. Shout out to my man Born for Sports in the building. Says, what's up, Dash? Let the people know what it is tonight. That's a fact. Like I said, we're going to talk about some things, man. Again, I've been pleased the last 3 weeks with OTAs. There's some storylines in it. We're going to get into it. But yeah, I'm excited, man. The Giants have made me a believer. Well, maybe not. They have made me hopeful. I'll say that. Hopeful. I believe it when I see it, but right now I'm very, very hopeful. My man JJ Thomas says, yo, Big Dash, keep doing big things. This is 803 in the building. He says, hi, how you going all day? And Timon Fox 45, love your content, don't stop. That's a fact. You see the hat, man. For the people that notice, I brought it out of retirement. I've seen enough these past 3 weeks to at least bring the hat out of retirement. So the Hyatt is open hat is on, man. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it. My man Food Stamp Slump says, yo, what's going on, Food Stamp? I need a real name, though. Food Stamp Slump is crazy. That's crazy. My man Lucas is in the building. What's going on, Lucas? He says, excited to be in the building, Unc. Let's go. That's a fact. That's a fact. MKM says 9-13-4 when it comes to the record. I'm with that. That's what I need to hear. My man Phil in the building. What's good, Dash? Happy Father's Day. Can't wait to watch some ball. That's a fact. What are we at? We got, what we in the 80s? 80-something days away from real football. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. My man Karen Rock says, a happy Father's Day, Dash. We're going to surprise a lot of people this year. I feel the same way. Again, we got a lot of things to talk about. Shout out to my man Ryan in the building. Another fantastic Giants content creator. Make sure you go ahead and do that. Hey, Ryan, man, I don't know. Ryan got the plug, man. Ryan got interviews after interviews with a lot of people. I just saw you had, I believe it was John Schmoke, right? I think you had Schmoke on the show. So you out here making moves, Ryan. That's what's up. Keep doing your thing. Paul says Hyatt has never had a real quarterback. He got one now. He got a few of them now on that depth chart. That's a fact. Let's get caught up. All right, so we're going to talk about some things. So first things first, I want to talk about practice. We're going to talk about practice, but not the OTAs. I want to talk about preseason. Brian Dable did confirm that we will be having 2 joint practices with the Jets prior to the preseason game. I'm here for that. And the reason why I like it so much is because Aaron Glenn came from Detroit, and we already know how Detroit likes to bring it. So with that being said, I expect some physical practices, because you know how we do. We might do all the practicing, got players, starters get the reps in practice. We get to the game and nobody plays in the game. So at least we're going to have a chance for these guys to try to knock somebody else's head off that's not a part of their own team. So I'm happy about that. Happy that Aaron Glenn and Brian Dable were able to get that together. Here's the thing, though. Every season, every year, that should be a given. It should be a given. My man Dope Dez is in the building. Big Dash, how about they have NFL game on Father's Day? Give us Dad something. It's too hot, man. They put us in June. They put us in between the what we got, the NBA Finals. Is the Stanley Cup still going on? Is that still going on? I don't know, man. June is June, though. June is a fantastic month. It lets you know that summer's here. It's already what was it? It was like 112 today in Arizona. So we in full effect already. Already in full effect. My man Balluminati Bully says, what's good, Big Dash? How is it? How is that everyone is trying to single out the New York Giants for not selecting Sanders like it wasn't 31 other teams that passed on Sanders 4 times? Oh, you going right into it, man. I ain't seen you in a while, man. I don't think you was here a couple weeks, Balluminati. But here, I'll answer the question really quickly, right? So you could say it's 31 teams also passed on, but it was about the quarterback needy teams that passed on, that a lot of people are saying that. And also, let's be honest, we were tied. We were tied to Shedeur Sanders. And when we passed on him, well, we only passed on him. Well, we passed on him twice, actually. Once was for Abdul Carter. The second time was Jackson Dart. And after that, we already had a quarterback, so we wasn't getting Shedeur Sanders after that. So we passed on him twice. But yeah, man, it is what it is. I still feel the same way that I felt about Shedeur Sanders. I think he's going to be fantastic. And yeah, best of luck to him, except for when they play the Giants. That's where I'm at with it, man. That's where I'm at with it. My man TG1 says starters need to play the preseason games. I'm with you 100% on that one. And also, yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about that wasn't on my list for tonight is when Brian Dable was at the podium, they were talking about some changes in the practice, how it seems like it's more intensity in the practice. They're doing more 7-on-7s, and that was on the request from Russell Wilson. And he admitted that and said, yeah, we're doing more, not longer practices, but, focusing more on the 7-on-7s, to help the defense on the back end and also help the quarterback build chemistry with the wide receivers and, all the sets and stuff like that. So for me, I'm happy to hear it because Brian Dable has been guilty of having light practices, not physical, not tough for long practices. So I'm happy to see that, they're spending a little more time on the things that matter. And with that being said, let's talk about these OTAs. Well, hold on before we do that. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris in the building with the $20 super chat. He says, I'm telling you, Dash, Carlton is his name for Russ. is going to be a disaster. He doing this, fourth team in 5 years. Oh, he's on his fourth team in 5 years, 37 years old. It's fake. It's going to be a disaster. Start Dart, selling Hyatt, laughing emoji to us. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, Jay Ferris. If you have kids, I don't know if you have kids or not. We haven't had this discussion yet about who's fathers and who's not, besides the people that I know personally. But shout out to you, Jay Ferris, for that. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. When it comes to Russell Wilson, and I'm gonna say the same thing that you heard before. He's better than what we had. The chemistry, the practices. You see in the wide receivers, Darius Slayton got a smile on his face like the Joker. Remember the Batman, the original? Now I can't even say the original. Remember the Batman from like the late 80s, early 90s? Jack Nicholson, when he hit people with the beauty products and they couldn't stop smiling. Have you seen Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson? They cannot stop smiling, singing the praises, not just about Russell Wilson, but also Jameis Winston as well. So here's the thing. If Russ don't work, then we go to Jameis Winston. If Jameis Winston doesn't work, then guess what? Jackson Dart is coming in early. But right now, I feel confident in Russell Wilson. And I'll say this. Can he get the ball on time? Jay Ferris says, I have a baby troll. I have baby troll children. Happy Father's Day. Jay Ferris, happy Father's Day. My man Paul says, Dash, do you think Bowens can adjust his defense to blitz more now that we have Carter? And I think he better do it. Here's the thing to that, though. We already know that he does not like the blitz. That's, he's coming from that background. But if your four can get to the quarterback without blitzing, that's all that matters too. And speaking of that, I'll jump to one of the points I wanted to make. Shout out to Abdul Carter. Shout out to Abdul Carter for leaking a couple of practice clips. And shout out to everybody for going crazy after seeing those practice clips. When I first saw it, I was like, man, our offensive line got beat, right? It depends on how you're looking at the play. When I'm looking, I'm like, damn, our offensive line got cooked on that play. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm looking at the lineup. That's not Andrew Thomas out there. That's not Van Roten on the right side. Those are the two guys that got the spin moves. Abdul Carter absolutely baked Aaron Stinnie. And then, Brian Burns is Brian Burns with the Spider-Man move to get around James Hudson. And then we didn't even see Kayvon in the beginning of the play. He was off screen and he got the bull rush on Jermaine Illuminor. And they all got to the quarterback. And NFL went crazy. Sports media went crazy about it. I'm seeing people with stopwatches saying how fast the Giants got to the quarterback. And a lot of people are saying now that, oh, man, this New York Giants front could be something. How long have we been saying that? How long have we been saying that? How long have we been saying, okay, this line could be special? A lot of people have been saying that. We're going to get to that too, Ryan. We're going to get to that, Ryan. I see you in the comment section talking about flat. We're going to get to that too, because that's one thing I'm keeping a close eye on. But the thing that surprised me the most is I knew that they were going to try to get all three of these guys on the field at the same time. I knew that was something that we're going to do. But in that one play, you had all three of those guys with their hands in the dirt. That I did not see coming. I assumed that Abdul Carter would be an off-ball linebacker when all three of them were on the field. But they told me to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. We're going to put all three of these guys' hands in the dirt. Now, here's the thing, too, man. You lining up Abdul Carter over the guard, you better be right. Because, yeah, he can beat people with speed, but these guards are some big bodies down there. So, best of luck to him, and I think he can do it, though. I think he can do that. It's a mismatch, too, man. He's crazy fast. My man OKC Donald says, how you feel about Wandell? I feel like Neighbors needs to be in the slot more, and Hyatt and whoever else. Wandell needs gadget plays. That's the same way I think about. That's what I think about Wandell. I think Wandell should be the gadget guy. I don't think he should be the focus slot guy. To your point, Malik Neighbors should be all over the place, and he is deadly when it comes to playing out of the slot. The people that watched him play at LSU already know it's not a surprise. He got his most yards out of the slot. Again, hopefully we don't hurt Wandell Robinson's feelings. Hopefully I'm not hurting his feelings when I say something like this. Gadget guy for Wandell right now until proven otherwise. But even when Wandell was at the podium, he talked about, he might have some more snaps on the outside. That's something that I did not see coming. If they feel comfortable enough with putting Wandell on the outside on certain plays, certain occasions, certain situations, let's see if it works first. But you know what happens. That's how you slowly freeze somebody out. Also, we have not seen Neighbors yet practicing with the team. We've seen him out there on the field. He's dealing with the toe. And you know what? Everything's a mystery after that. Brian Dable's telling us, he's progressing. Everything's good. I think this, man. I think when it comes to Malik Neighbors, you guys let me know in the comment section. When it comes to Malik Neighbors and his toe, right? He's a young kid. Didn't have to deal with too many crazy injuries. I think he might be scared of the surgery. I think he's trying to avoid having the surgery. And right now, it might be too late to have the type of surgery that he might need. Again, I don't know what the issue is with the toe. I don't know if it's turf toe issue. I don't know if he got soreness, joints, ligament damage. I don't know what it is. But at some point in time, probably won't happen this year. Maybe next year he should think about, fixing his toe for real and not trying to just, get through it. Because we don't need that nagging, year after year after year. Go ahead and get the surgery. And somebody else brought that up in the comment section to one of the videos saying he think that that Neighbors needs that surgery, but he's just avoiding it because he might be possibly, scared. But it is what it is. You got to get it done. My man James Worthy says, who's going to block Jalen Carter? Whoever's lined up in front of him is going to, pray to God and hold on for dear life. That's what it is. I'll say this, though. Also, in that Abdul Carter clip, we got to see Evan Neal do reps on the inside. Again, no shoulder pads. Again, it wasn't, but his feet look good. His feet look good on the inside. It was a combo block, him and JMS. I feel like JMS should have got a little bit of a flipper on Abdul Carter after the spin move, but they did their assignment. And for that one clip, I saw Justin Pugh going crazy over it. He said, look at Evan Neal's feet. His feet look good. I'm here for it. Now, the one thing I will say about Evan Neal is when Evan Neal gets his hands, now that's the issue. Can he get his hands on somebody? But once Evan Neal gets his hands on somebody, it's hard to get around him. I will say that. Give him some type of credit, right? Give him some type of credit. My man Dope Dez says, Big Dash, this is the real Brian song. The schedule is crazy, Brian. Brian is going all out. I would. The real life Brian song. I mean, he has to. Dable has to. This schedule is unforgiving, I should say. And yeah, I mean, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared of any of the teams on this schedule. I'm not scared. I think our defense should be able to hang with anybody. It's about the offense at the end of the day. Shout out to Jay Ferris with his all-time faith in Russell Wilson. Shout out to my man Paul in the building. He says, Dash, what do you think about our linebacker core? We haven't had a Pro Bowl linebacker in 20 years. I think Bobby Okereke got snubbed. He should have made it. Actually, didn't he make it? We haven't had an All-Pro in years, but I didn't Okereke get Pro Bowl? Maybe I'm tripping. Definitely not last year, but that first year. I thought he was on Pro Bowl. I might be wrong though. Luann, that's a fact. Schedule don't mean anything. We'll start 0-0 just like everybody else. just like everybody else. So yeah. So I want to talk about Jaylen Hyatt now, right? I want to talk about Jaylen Hyatt now, and the hype train. The hype train for Jaylen Hyatt. You guys have seen it. Everybody, all the content creators are talking about Jaylen Hyatt now. It's the same people that were ready to trade him, same people that were ready to see what you can get for him. Now everybody's saying, "Oh, he gained some weight. He looks stronger." Brian Daboll's at the podium said he improved in all facets of being a wide receiver. And all of a sudden, possible breakout year. Is this going to be the year for Hyatt? Listen, man, you already know. You guys been staying in tune with me. Love the kid. Hopefully, because you know he's putting in the work. He's trying to get better. That goes without question. One of the knocks on him was he wasn't strong enough. You look at some of the pictures now, like I don't believe it's 15 to 20 pounds is crazy. But when you look at some of these pictures, it might be real. And the wide receiver coach Grow said that he got bigger. Pause. That's crazy. But also he said the thing that we love the most about him, he didn't lose, and that was his speed. So I'm loving that. We haven't seen a lot of the different route running. Haven't got a chance to pay attention to that. If you get a chance to, what YouTube channel is it? It's the SNY channel. It's the SNY channel. They got a compilation from the practices, and it's a lot more footage than we get the chance to see. A lot more plays, not just the highlight plays, but so if you get a chance to check those guys out, make sure you go ahead and do that. I think it's like maybe 7 minutes long, but it's no commentary. It's just, some clips from practice. So shout out to those guys for that. Iron sharpens iron. That's a fact. James Worthy says we still don't have a true outside wide receiver, and a Hakeem Nicks, a Plaxico Burress, a Toomer. What do you call Darius Slayton? Like production wise, I understand, but he's a true outside wide receiver. That's what Darius Slayton is. He can run out of the slot too, but that's your threat on the outside. And then, like you said, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is everything. I see you said slot. You think Slayton's more of a slot guy? I mean, they're all pretty versatile, but right now, primarily, he plays outside. You know it. And I'll say this too, man. And that'll be my first question. That'll be my first question, for the chat. When it comes to Darius Slayton, right? Better quarterbacks. We assume better quarterbacks on paper right now, right? Can Darius Slayton crack 1,000 yards? That's my first question. And I'll have a follow-up question after that. So let me know, yes or no, in the comment section. Can Darius Slayton crack 1,000 yards this season? Just 1,000. You ain't got to say 1,100, 1,200, nothing like that. Just let me know, yes or no. Can he crack 1,000 yards? Shout out to my man, that dark friend in the building, says check in and say Happy Father's Day. Spent the day with my 3 boys today. That's fair. I got 3 boys too. Shout out to you, that dark friend. I got all boys too. Happy Father's Day to you. My man Fizz says, "What's up, Dash? I really like Hyatt. Hope he balls out." That's what I'm talking about, man. We gotta. If we can unlock Hyatt, man, that's what we need. James Worthy says, "I just think we need that big body X to open up." Yeah. No, I'm not gonna argue against that, man. I'm not gonna argue against that. Do I feel like we got a couple big body wide receivers? They are UDFAs though, but I don't think they got a chance to really getting a lot of snaps this year for those that even try to make the team or that could possibly make the team. Collins, he's a taller wide receiver. DeQuan Felton is a taller wide receiver. Bryce Ford Wheaton, pretty much a ghost town. Haven't heard anything from him. He's a taller wide receiver. I understand what you're saying and what you're looking for. The kid out of Stanford would have been a good pickup. That I forget what team he went to. With the long last name, I can human or something like that. Whatever, he would have been a good option. Hirsch for real, what's going on? He said, "What's good, Dash?" All right, let's get to some of these. My man Johnny Lovely says yes. Luann says yes, he can. Christopher Tony just under 1,000 yards. He says he has 900 yards in him. I'll take it. I'll take 900 and 8 touchdowns. That'd be a good year for me. with better quarterback play. Dope Dead says, I watched Slayton highlights. I forgot he played with Eli. Yeah, he did for that 1 year. That Eagles game, he went off. I went off, but Eli had some good passes, so a lot of deep shots for Eli to Slayton. My man Yasin Baker says, yes, Darius Slayton will bust 1,000 yards easy with Russ under center. I think he can do it, man. If he can crack 750 off of 50 catches with Daniel Jones, he can crack 1,000. He probably can crack 1,000. Like you said, 50 catches got him on 750. I think last year he only had like 39 catches, and he still almost had like 600 yards off of 39 catches. Yeah, he get 80 catches. He cracking 1,000 yards if he get 80 catches. No doubt in my mind. That's easy money. Easy money. Hirsch for real says Slayton is becoming our tumor. Whoa, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on it. I love it. I love it. Pump the brakes. Shout out to Amani Tuma. He got a lot to, I understand where you're going with that. Tuma never really got the respect that he deserved. Never really got the respect that he deserved outside. For the Giants fans, we love him. But I see where you're going with that, and I hope that's true. My man Sean Lee says, look out for Theo Johnson. He might get 1,000. Listen, if any of these tight ends get 1,000 yards, oh my gosh. Pittsburgh had Freiermuth. I don't know if Freiermuth cracked 1,000 yards, so I don't think he did. But if one of our tight ends crack 1,000, when's the last time one of our tight ends cracked 1,000 yards? Shockey? Did Shockey even crack 1,000? I don't know. But yeah, if we spreading the ball around like that, we need to have some other type of discussions, contender discussions. If that's happening, my man David Daniels in the building says, Happy Father's Day, Dad. He says, no on Hyatt, 100 yards at least while he's still sharing catches with Slayton. No, it wasn't Hyatt getting 1,000 yards. It was Slayton getting 1,000 yards. Can Slayton get 1,000? I don't think Hyatt's getting 1,000. Yeah. So for me, my way too early prediction for Hyatt, it's just like 500 yards, man. If I'm being honest, I'm not going to be like 500 yards. If he can get 500 yards, he's the fourth wide receiver on the depth chart right now. If he can get 400 to 500 yards and maybe 2-3 touchdowns on the season, that's progress to me. Now, it might not be progress to him because he got high hopes and high dreams. So, but for me, when I think about the wide receiver room, I got to get at least 1,300 to 1,500 from Malik. 10 touchdowns probably from Malik. That makes sense to me. Slayton, I got Slayton getting 1,000 yards. I do have that happening at 4 to 6 touchdowns for him, right? And then Wan'Dale Robinson, I think his production will go down because you're going to see a lot more deep shots, and depending on how we play him, he runs a lot of the shorter routes. I can see Wan'Dale getting like 500 if the ball's on time, pause, some yards after the catch, maybe 600. But he's not getting 140 targets like he did last year. I don't think that's happening. My man Paul says, for like the 10th year in a row, this O-line makes me nervous. It's going to listen, until we have a full season of strong offensive line play, you're going to always feel that way because I feel that way too. Until we see what happens, right? The biggest question mark, well, there's two big question marks for me. Can JMS improve? Can JMS get better? That's number one, right? Don't need no pressure up the middle for the quarterback. Can Andrew Thomas stay healthy? That's it. And you know what's crazy? I'm going to admit something, right? I started peeking a little bit at the draft because I'm a college football nerd too. So I started peeking at, some of the talent coming out next year in the draft, right? And I didn't want to think about the draft, but I started thinking about the draft in a positive way because this is going to be the first time, depending on what happens this year, that we can possibly just go best player available for real in a draft. And for me, I want to address the offensive line. Again, we got some guys that are older and some guys that are unproven. Marcus Bowe at some point in time will be a starter. Will it be right tackle? Will it be right guard? I don't know. Evan Neal, left guard. I think Runyon still has that, no doubt. Guaranteed money. It's an uphill battle for Evan Neal to beat out Runyon. I thought Evan Neal was going to be on the right side. I thought he had an easier path to starting if he was going to play on the right side, but they got him on the left side. So that's going to be a tough battle. But after this year, you figure for everybody, we got our future. Right now, we have our future franchise quarterback. That's what we believe in Jackson Dart. The defensive line has been addressed. Linebacker. Maybe we pick up. Maybe that'd be another focus at some point in time. Secondary, pretty much addressed. We got to figure out what Tay Banks is. But after that, man, when you really looking at this Giants team, to my man's point, to Paul's point, we got to address this offensive line still, depth and starters. But right now, again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Let's talk about focus on 2025. And to your point, it's always going to make me nervous until they prove it. Luann, I know you love Slayton. You've said it before. We already know what it is. Marcellus Norris says, listen, thank God we finally have a competent quarterback that can throw. That's a fact. Jay Ferris, right? It's funny too. So I was watching, I put on the 2024 highlight tape for Russell Wilson. And again, it's highlights. So, they don't show any of the bad, but I was just looking at the highlights because I just wanted to see one thing. What were we mad at Daniel Jones for? Holding on to the ball, not letting it go. Russell Wilson, and even in the highlights, some of those throws, some of those were dangerous. No pun intended. Dangerous throws from dangerous. But he gave the receivers the chance to make a play. That's all we've been asking for years. Give your receivers a chance to make the play. Who knows, if you throw it, maybe you can get a pass interference, but give your guys a chance to make the play. And when you look at this quarterback room, from top to bottom, you can even throw DeVito in there. Those guys are not afraid to let it rip. Not afraid to let it rip. So for me, we got some guys that can throw the ball. And hopefully they throw the ball, man. First versus in terms of being a veteran. I got you. I went on a little rant, right? Luann says, Dash, we can still use another wide receiver, especially a taller one. I get it. And Luann, you was on it. You've been talking to wide receiver talk. Also, Luann says, I hope Bellinger and Theo get a lot of playing time. I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit scared for Bellinger because he is making. I believe he qualified for some bonuses because of how much he played the first 2 years of his career. And I think he got a little bit of boost. So I think he earned like another extra $1 million. So I'm hoping that they don't try to cut him for money purposes and then try to re-sign him, because I think if you cut Bellinger, I think another team will pick him up. If you waive him, I should say, I think another team will pick him up, especially because he's only going to cost somebody $2 million right now, even with the bonus or the bump for the playing time. I believe in Bellinger too much for them to play around and possibly let him go to try to save $1 million. I want the Twin Towers. To me, at Bellinger and Theo Johnson, I was calling them the Twin Towers when we drafted Theo Johnson, because both guys are 6'6" and 6'5", 265 and 260. You know what I mean? Both ran a 4.640. Twin Towers to me. And we haven't been utilizing those guys, man. Chris Manhertz is older. Thomas Fedoni is a rookie. What's the guy? Greg Dosich. Who knows if he's going to get enough snaps to even try to make the team. We'll see what happens, though, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. So the next thing I want to talk about is Russell Wilson, even though we just been talking about Russell Wilson, and then the leadership for Russell Wilson. Oh, actually, let me get to some of these other comments. So hold that thought. My man Joe Long says 600, and he's talking about Slayton 600. I believe you're talking about Slayton getting over 600. Is something wrong if Slayton don't get over 600? You know what I mean? My man James Worthy says top 3 questions inside O-line, wide receiver, and O-line again. Top 3 positions. So question, yeah. I'm assuming you said inside or interior offensive line, wide receiver, and then O-line again. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I agree with you. Interior matters. JMS, big question mark. That's my son. Still feel the same way. Big year for him. He got to do it, or we're going to be drafting his replacement if his replacement isn't already in the building. Okay, so Durlon did. They'll say 850 for Slayton. Listen. Okay. Neighbor's getting over 1,000 yards, Joe. Neighbor's definitely getting over 1,000 yards, Joe. Earth says, don't sleep on Fedoni. He can be our third tight end. Yeah. It just depends on what happens with Bellinger, and because they seem to love Manhurts. Manhurts was like an extra lineman. So for me, it's like, okay. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris with the $5 super chat. He says, don't you see the foundation of this bullish stuff? Giants throwing DJ under the bus. Also, so ninjas keep their job, pump up the cringer Russ junk. Yeah, I already know how you feel, bro. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for you to feel different. I understand. Trust me, I do. Shout out to my man Xavier Anderson, says happy Father's Day. If you are a father, happy Father's Day to you too. Shout out to my man Greg in the building. He says we got our future D-line, but I don't know about quarterback. Listen, we'll find out. Well, actually, we might not find out yet. I told people before, I don't plan on seeing Jackson Dart to 2026. It's funny how I'm seeing a lot of other people jump on that train too. 2026. I was saying, man, if the New York Giants, well, let me say this. At the end of the day, right? I bleed blue. I root for the New York Giants as a whole over any individual players. So for me, if Jackson Dart's sitting for the entire 2025 season means that the New York Giants are in a playoff run, then so be it. So be it. He'll get his time. That's just how I feel about it. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Greg, absolutely right. Says we got to score more than 16 points a game to even compete in this league. I think we can do that. I think we can definitely do that. The quarterback is the most important position on the field. We know that. We know this. Most important position in sports. Throw the ball. How many points were left off the board because the ball was either late, not in the right place? Like how much yak did we give up? I just go back to that Dallas game, right? The Dallas game, the first pass to Malik Neighbors on the double move, that's a touchdown if any other quarterback is throwing that ball. A touchdown. Malik Neighbors had that guy beat by 20 yards. He had to turn around, backpedal, and wait for that ball to get there. And by the time he caught that ball, everybody else caught up to him. Like that's things like that matter. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's a 40-yard reception. No, it's fantastic. No, that should have been a touchdown. That should have been a 60-yard touchdown. That's the difference that these quarterbacks make. Throw the moon ball. Johnny Lovely says, I just saw the video of them bowling. Team chemistry is going to be so good this year. Yeah, I saw that too. That was dope. They actually canceled the last day of practice, the last OTA, in order to go bowling. That's why we didn't see any updates. They said, you know what? Forget practice. The whole team, we're going to go bowl. And that's fantastic. I wish I would have known. They did show the place too. And we used to bowl a little bit. Back in the day, used to bowl a little bit. I wasn't really good at it though. Mr. What says, can we please win the first game of the season by beating the Commies? Good things happen when we win the first game of the season. That's a fact. Listen, I can't wait for that first game, bro. I can't wait for that first game, man. I can't wait to see this defense, like, for real. Like, even when we saw that play that Abdul Carter leaked, Dez wasn't even on the field for that. So imagine Dez being on the field. Listen, listen. Yeah. I'm ready for it. MKM say, why you saying 9-10 at BS this season should be 13-4? Listen, I'm with you. 13-4. I'm with you. I did say 7 to 10 wins is the range that I was in. Excuse me. Luann says, I do not like Evan Neal since he told the media that fans were hamburger flippers. He called us hot dog flippers, not even hamburger flippers. and you can't even really flip hot dogs. For real, they just roll because he was being booed. Now that was listen. I was pissed off when he said it. And he already didn't play. He has not played well enough to even make a comment like that. So no, and who was it? The guy on the fan that went off on him? Yeah, it was funny. Now, not what he said was funny. The guy that had the rant about Evan Neal saying that was funny. But yeah, listen, he got a lot to prove. He got a lot to prove. Keep his head down, keep playing. That's it. He can prove it on the field. You already know how it is with New York. You know, we might have a bad taste in our mouths for a player, but if they start playing well, we'll forgive them. You know, we'll forgive them. We're very harsh on players, but if they play well, how do you think Daniel Jones got 6 years? If Daniel Jones will get 6 years, if Evan Neal starts playing well, watch, he'll be just fine. We'll end up forgiving him. My man Craig said we lost 5-6 times last year where 21 points would have won the game. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my man Curtis in the building. What's going on, Curtis Roundtree in the building? Shout out to you, brother. How you been? All right, let me get caught up because I am behind. Jay Ferris is booing my Russ take. He also says start Dart. I'm going to get to the bottom of this because I got to get caught up to some of these comments. We got Side Guy Bri. What's going on, Side Guy Bri? He says, y'all better prepare for 2 more years of Shane and Dable. Dart needs time to develop, and Dart is their choice, right or wrong. Now, you're absolutely right. I think Shane is safe regardless. He got the team and the fan base what everybody believes to be the franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart. The last 2 draft classes have seemed to be pretty good. We have not seen this draft class play yet, but a lot of people are happy with the draft class already. So I think Shane is safe. Brian Dable, to me, is still on the hot seat. I would love for him to be here in order to develop Jackson Dart. I think Mara likes Dable too. And trust me, I was wrong. I was dead wrong because even at his worst, John Mara said, no, I'm keeping him. So, but I do believe Dable's on the hot seat. I believe Shane is safe. And Dable got to win games this year, period. He got to win games this year. And then, like I said, who knows when we'll see Dart? Who knows? TG1 says that should have been it should have been a touchdown. Anybody else throwing that? Tommy DeVito throwing that ball, that's a touchdown. Drew Lock too, possibly, that's a touchdown. Jay Fred, would you say dash like Charlie Brown kicking the football this time? Oh man, some people ain't old enough to catch that reference though, Jay Ferris. Nah, it's crazy. It was an actual bowling alley. It did look small in there though. It did look small in there. It could have been because I saw them walk. It looked like they were walking into the building. So I don't know if it was some type of intimate setting where you got private bowling alleys. I don't know. It's definitely not a traditional bowling alley. Not the ones that I'm used to. But yeah, definitely wasn't nobody's crib though. It wasn't somebody's crib. Phil says all things offensive will depend on the offensive line. Phil, let me ask you a question too, because I believe in that statement, right? But I also believe that good quarterback play actually helps the offensive line as well. I do think that. Let me know what you think about that too, if you agree with that. The biggest says I made it in this time. What happened before? You know, there's no bounces at the door. You can come in and hang out anytime you feel like it. The biggest pause. Hirsch got joked. He says Neal will relish the moment he is no longer a hot dog. You guys on fire tonight, man. My man Kyler says, if I'm not mistaken, in that video, didn't Tibbs get there first? He had the bull rush on Illuminor. Illuminor was still kind of in front of him. He did get, it was almost simultaneously, all 3 of them. If I'm going to really be honest, if you say he got there first, he definitely, like the throwing lane was finished. He bull rushed him. He was in, Illuminor was in Russell Wilson's lap. So yeah, I get it. I wish I would have had it clipped up. I would have played it. We could all looked at it together. I was going to talk about that, Greg. Greg says, what do you think about Hyatt gaining weight for this season? I'm not saying beefing up. That's crazy. Pause. Now, what I think about Hyatt gaining weight, I thought it was something that needed to happen. And the number one thing, because I did talk about it a little bit earlier, wide receiver coach said, yeah, he gained weight. Yeah, he got strong. He's always flexing in front of him, but he also didn't lose his speed. And that was the main thing for me. Now, he has a frame, like he has a longer frame. He can 15 to 20 pounds, if that is in fact the case. And I saw a picture of him walking off the field with Malik Neighbors, next to Malik Neighbors. He looked huge. Paul's next to Malik Neighbors. So I'm like, maybe 15 to 20 is real. Maybe it's real. But if he is, because he's 6'1", almost 6'2", and then you're talking about 6'1", 6'2". If he really did gain 20 pounds, that makes him what, 205 pounds, 200 pounds. They go that big wide receiver. Well, he ain't 6'5", 6'6". There goes another bigger body wide receiver there that you guys been looking for. I mean, different. Now, here's the thing, though. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL came knocking at the door, asking that man to pee in the cup. Like, I think that happened. Also, have you guys seen Kayvon Thibodeau? Have y'all seen the pictures of Kayvon Thibodeau? He got bigger. Because Kayvon Thibodeau used to look like the guy that used to be on the basketball court that was a little bit cut and would take his shirt off to play. That's what that's what Kayvon Thibodeau used to look like to me. It's a guy that's in good shape at the park with his shirt off. I looked at him this year. He looks like an outside linebacker for real, because he already had small legs. Like, it's just genetics when it comes to Kayvon Thibodeau. He got them little legs, but he got bigger up top, and you can see that too. So I'm with all that, man. James Worthy says, I just think it could be it could get late early with Russ and this O-line combo. Russ be looking old. We might see Dart earlier than we expect. Well, it's still right now. Was it in OTAs? The last few days, they said that Jackson Dart was running with the twos. So already he has moved up the depth chart. Again, this is only OTAs. We'll find out more with minicamp next week. But I'm curious to see what happens with that. And then, you know what? We've been in the comment section. I've been reading a lot of comments. I still have some points I wanted to get to. Let's get to that right now, right? Let's get to that right now. So Cordell Flott, right? Cordell Flott. And I apologize if we can get to these comments again. If I missed your comment, go ahead, put it in again. Pause. That's crazy. But Cordell Flott, right? So I thought it was something that they just wanted to see last week, in OTAs, 6 and 7, right? Or was it 6 and 7? Yeah, 6 and 7, where they were saying that Cordell Flott was running with the ones. He was a CB2 opposite Paulson Adebo. And I said, okay, well, they're trying to see, trying things out, different combinations. And then all last week or this week, I should say, Cordell Flott was still running with the ones. So I'm like, well, okay, is there a real competition between Cordell Flott and Tay Banks? Let me know that in the comment section. And again, if I missed some of your stuff, go ahead and put it back in there. But how do you guys feel about Cordell Flott right now being a CB2 over Tate Banks? Now, they did also say that in OTA 9, during the second part of team drills, Tate Banks was running with the ones opposite Paulson Adebo. So we might really have a competition at CB2. And surprisingly, I'm not mad at it when I think about it. I'm really not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because we already know the bad taste that Tate Banks left in a lot of people's mouths last year when he, gave up on plays and didn't show that, didn't show all the hustle. You're making them earn it. And two things can happen. Either Tate Banks looks at this competition and rises to the occasion, or he folds. I'm loving it right now. I'm loving it. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Mellow Trade says Abdul Carter got there first. Okay. Man, that spin move was nasty. He was, yeah. I'm gonna agree with you. Mello. That's how I saw it too. That's how I saw it. But guess what? If it wasn't a big difference in time. Let's be honest. We talk about guys getting a sack and half a sack. That's how close it was as far as time getting to the quarterback on that play. He said in that video, Burns broke off his rush. He did the spin move on that play. It was it wasn't even like it was some kung fu in it too. It was a slap spin. Brian Burns been practicing that for years. That's one of his signatures. You'll see that. The biggest says, I want Abdul on the field with Dexter Burns and Kayvon. We're going to see that. They already spilled the beans on that. My man Christopher Tony making a good point. I just want the Giants to be a force and be relevant. He says middle of the pack at least this season. I think that's a given. I think middle of the pack is a given for me. I want to crack the top 10 on defense. I want to crack the top 10 on defense, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did. There's enough talent when you just look at the names on paper. It's enough talent for this team to crack the top 10. Defensive front alone, there's enough here to crack that top 10. My man Born for Sports says, I've never wavered, but I believe in Hyatt's talent. That's a fact. Just got to unlock it, man. Just got to unlock it. Well, man, don't even bring that up because I'm a Bama fan. Good said, Hyatt go off like he did against Bama in the pros. They definitely coming for the cup. That's a fact. 5 touchdowns against my Bama. Roll Tide at the end of the day. Roll Tide. Biggest says Abdul and Dex should be unstoppable. Ryan got a question. He says, which UDFA, if any, do you think makes the team? I think Fortune might make the team. I think that happens. When you look at the safeties, we're a little thinner at safety. The kid Page might make it. Outside of that, long shot for the wide receivers, and that's just a numbers game. Maybe one of the wide receivers. If like when I did my way too early 53 prediction, I believe I had Juice Wells making it. I think I had Juice Wells making it, and we haven't heard too much about Juice Wells. I think he had 1 touchdown from Dart. They had the little connection, but Bo Collins is a name that we've been hearing a lot of. So he maybe him too. So that's right now. That's Fortune, Page, and Bo Collins. I will give you those 3 names right now. Just thinking about it. My man OKC Donald says, why everybody keep talking about Hyatt needing to gain weight, but nobody say that about who's DeVeets for the Eagles. Talking about Devontae for the Eagles. Because Devontae's proven he's out there making plays at like 160 pounds. So that's probably what the issue is. When we think about Jaylen Hyatt, we had certain expectations for Hyatt, and as soon as he didn't meet those expectations, we're trying to look for things to blame. Like, what could be the reason why, he's not being successful. And, weight is one thing, but when you look at Devontae Smith with the Eagles, he's out there cooking at 160 pounds, cooking. So there's no questions for him. But it's all about production. If Hyatt was more productive in his first 2 seasons, then nobody would be talking about his weight or his route running or, not being physical, can't block, didn't know the play. Nobody would be saying anything like that if it was more production from him. And that's what it is. We try to look for things that we can, possibly blame things on. Shout out to my man Mark Stewart, just gifted 2 members. That's a fact. Oh, I'm sorry. No, just re-upped for 2 more months membership. Thank you very much, Mark Stewart. Happy Father's Day to you. To salute Big Dash. No salute to you, Mark. That's a loyal Giants fan right there. My man go to the games. Season tickets, if I'm not mistaken, right, Mark? Season tickets? If not season tickets, you go to a lot of games if you're not a season ticket holder. But shout out to you. My man Born for Sports says, I think it's absolutely a competition between Banks and Flott, as it should be. Banks quitting on plays and still not improving on ball skills in year 2. Put him in the vortex. He got to earn it. That's a fact. Shout out to my man Island Boy. Says, yo, Big Blue. What's going on, Island Boy? But now that's a good point. Again, I agree with you 100%. 100%. He got to earn it. And the last thing I said is it builds character first thing, and then we're going to find out exactly what Tate Banks is made of. Either he can fold or he can rise to the occasion. It's that simple. That simple. Don Sherrod, don't worry about it. Says, I'm late. Salute, Big Dash. Salute to you, Don. Happy Father's Day if you are a father. It's our day tomorrow. We got to celebrate. My man Dope Des says, Big Dash, Banks costs that man his job. That's a fact. The coaches don't play that. He got to be super special to get that spot. I agree with half of that for sure. I like the coaches. They threw him under the bus. They threw Henderson under the bus. There's no reason why he should have lost his job, right? But they made that decision if somebody had to be fired, and they pointed the finger at him because of that situation. I understand. But that was on the organization too, not just on Banks, that they decided to get rid of Jerome Henderson. But he did cost that man his job. He played a role in it for sure. No doubt about it in my mind. But again, he has a new attitude, and you see here he looks like a linebacker. Tate Banks, as far as putting in the work, getting ready, for football this year, Tate Banks has done that. If that's something that we can point at to say, okay, yeah, he's taking things more seriously, then I'm all for it, man. But to your point, you got to earn it. To my man, Born for Sports, you got to earn it. That's a fact. Yankees just lost again to Boston. I didn't even see the score. I ain't even turned that game on, to be honest. I was vibing today. My man Ryan says, yeah, I was thinking, I was talking with Schmelk, and he feels Felton has been balling. See, that's the stuff I don't see. I saw one report from, I think it was Matt Sitak? Shout out to Matt for the Giants. He said, but yeah, I saw that there was a connection, and I think it was DeVito to Felton, or it might have been Dark to Felton. But again, we don't know because they be locking down these practices. But yeah, I know he had a touchdown though. I know he had one touchdown, but have you heard anything much after that? Like the rookie minicamp, I know he had a touchdown in rookie minicamp from Dart, but things get a little bit quiet, man. MKF says, I hate the Red Sox. I think everybody hates the Red Sox. My man Darnell Big Money says, Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, Darnell. Shout out to you. Yeah, no, that's a fact. He said, Luann says, I saw Hyatt play that Arizona game, the second half of that game. He broke the game open. It was DJ to Hyatt, and we won. That's a fact. We ran off 30-something points in that second half. Reeves Island, what's going on, Raekwon? And the building says, Evan looked good in that phone booth. Yeah, he did. Feet look good. Justin Pugh was going crazy. A little bit of gas, a little bit of glazing. But his feet look good. His feet look quick, too. He wasn't worried about getting beat on the outside. I think that helps him a little bit. But, yeah, you know what's crazy, though? And Raekwon, we talked about this in the spaces on Twitter and all that stuff. Why did we wait so long to move him? That's going to be – if Evan Neal goes out there and he becomes a solid guard, a lot of people will be happy. I'll be happy, too. But I'll also be a little bit upset because, why? Why we wait so long? Why did we wait so long? Shout out to my man Capitan. What's going on, Raph? It says, salute Big Dash, Raph in the building with a $2.07 super chat. That's a very specific number. Shout out to you. Thank you very much, Raph. Hope you're doing good on this Saturday night. My man Leo Lucas says, Dash, happy Saturday. How are you? I'm living life. I'm feeling good. Leo Lucas, what's going on? How's everything going on with you and that channel, brother? Shout out to you. OKC Donald says, I know who needs to hear this, but the OKC Thunder winning the finals. We ready for the parade. That was a good comeback yesterday. It was an enjoyable game. And if you're a fan of OKC, you needed that win. You absolutely did need that win. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, we're going to keep rolling along, right? Jameis Winston. A lot of rumors about possibly trading Jameis Winston. And I'm here to say, and I'm standing on this, leave it alone. Do not trade Jameis Winston. Do not trade Jameis Winston. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's a couple of reasons why you don't do it. Last year, Russell Wilson, everybody keeps saying, he's 36, 37 years old. Last year, he was hurt. They didn't see him to what, game 5, game 6? The last thing you want is to force Jackson Dart out there too soon. You can ruin him, like absolutely ruin him. And not just for the season, like ruin him permanently. You got a good thing going right now. You got a security blanket in place. It's like having great insurance. It's like having great insurance. Full coverage, not just liability. We got full coverage right now when it comes to these quarterbacks. I'm not trying to go back to liability. Full coverage insurance right now. If Russell Wilson is hurt, whatever, you got Jameis Winston. You got a cushion, you got a buffer before you get to Jackson Dart. As soon as you trade Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart becomes one play away from having to play early. And I keep saying to everybody, no matter how good he looks on the field, no matter how much people say he can spin the ball, he is not ready day one to go out there and do things. He might be able to survive. I'm not going to say he can't. I'm just saying this is my opinion. Do not trade Jameis Winston. Do not do it. It'd be foolish to do that. The first time you've had a solid quarterback room, don't mess it up before the season starts. Don't mess it up. Let me know what you guys think about that. Fighter's Destiny. What's going on, Fighter's Destiny? So I got Bron says I love the Red Sox. Oh boy. Take it easy on them. My man MKM says I want the New York Giants to win the Super Bowl for the 5th time. That's a fact. In order to keep the tradition alive of winning a Super Bowl in every decade since the 80s, the New York Giants have up until 2029 to do so. We got to win a Super Bowl by 2029 in order to keep the streak alive. That's where I'm at right now. So I won't panic yet. I want to keep that streak alive. Luann says, I'm hearing the Saints want Winston. He is a little weird. I've listened to him talk. LOL. Nah, he's definitely a different type of person. He is a character for sure. And I heard, what was it? Cam Jordan was on the Kay Adams show talking, campaigning for Jameis Winston. And I'm sitting here like, you got 4 quarterbacks on your roster right now. You're one of the leaders of the Saints. You're showing no confidence in that quarterback room. I don't blame him, because have you seen that quarterback room? And me being a New York Giants fan, I believe I'm qualified to say or to acknowledge when a quarterback room is trash. And that Saints quarterback room is trash. Basura. Trash. It's a Saturday night, Fighters Destiny. You know what it is. Late night Giants talk. I'm here with my people. I'm having a good time. We vibing. I'm doing fantastic, brother. I'm doing fantastic. My man Jerry Carlock says the people wanting to trade Winston to save Cutlets spot is insane are insane. I agree 100% with that. Try to sneak Tommy onto the practice squad. If someone picks him up, oh well. 100%. You know what? I didn't even get that angle of getting rid of Winston to save Cutlets. That's insane. To your point, that's insanity to try to do that. That is ridiculous. My man Leo Lucas says, do you think we can make the playoffs? Also, what's the best way to follow Giants out of the market without Sunday? I can't tell you how to do that without the Sunday ticket. You know how to do it. You know how to do it. First word, fire. Last name, stick. You do the math. You didn't hear that from me. I'm just saying. There's ways around it. Also, there's a bunch of streaming sites. I'm not going to tell you where to go, at least not in this platform. But there's ways of doing it. Again, when DirecTV had Sunday Ticket, it didn't stop people from seeing all these games. That's all I'm saying. It is what it is. But yeah, first word fire, last name stick, brother. That's how you can do it. Don't come get me. Don't come get me, NFL. I'm just trying to help out another loyal fan. It is what it is. My man Johnny Lovely says, I hope they don't. I want him on the team. I want him on the team too, man. It does not make any sense to get rid of Jameis Winston. It does not make any sense. Again, you guys know my wife, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Russ got there last year. He got hurt. He didn't play for the first 5 weeks of the season. 6 weeks, something like that. I forget how many games he missed. We're one play away. We cannot. And again, the bigger picture is what? Making sure, the bigger picture is winning and doing everything you can to win. But also after that, it's about the development of Jackson Dart. You can't throw him in there too long. You can't do it. My man's name is Goddamn. And that's G-O-T. He says, my opinion, keep Winston, trade Tommy DeVito, give him a shot somewhere else, go Big Blue. There's no market for Tommy DeVito. You can't trade him. There's no market. There ain't nobody giving. They already know that the New York Giants are going to get rid of him. The other teams know that he's getting waived. Like Tommy DeVito, and I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm just saying it's most likely to happen is Tommy DeVito gets waived and he most likely makes it through waivers. He's most likely going to make it through waivers. And then the New York Giants will have a chance to put him on the practice squad if they want to. And I think that's what happens. But I don't think they can trade him. I don't think there's a trade market for him. He said, Leo says, I used to get it on WFan. Said Odyssey streaming, but last year it was. Listen, brother. We can talk when we get closer to the season. There's ways to do it, and trust me, all these lovely people that are in the chat right now, somebody is willing to reach out and help you out with that situation. I try to give you one option. We'll see. Jay Ferris says Russ was a ghost on the Steelers. I mean, I already know Russ ain't your guy. Russ is not your guy, Jay Ferris. I'm not even gonna try to convince you otherwise, brother. Otherwise, I won't do it. And then shout out to Jay Ferris with $5 super chat. He says, as a middle-aged man who's seen everything, how to separate team hype from garbage? Playoffs, dude. Listen, you ask a lot of questions, Jay Ferris, and I get it. He said, as a middle-aged man, I've seen everything. How do you separate team hype from garbage? I would say it's a feeling, but you can absolutely be wrong when it comes to feelings, and this is just me being honest with you. It's a feeling. Is when you look at the roster on paper, it makes sense. When you're trying to look for weaknesses on the team, there's less weaknesses, less holes. Everything got to get put together, though. We still got to play games. So listen, I'm not going to tell you to be hopeful, to get high off the hopium or nothing like that. I'm just saying, Jay. I'm just saying. You got to feel a little bit good. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. I'm trying to sell you. Just a little bit. Better quarterback play, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's, all that. There's better ingredients on the team. Now, can the coach cook? That's the question. The ingredients are there. Can he put us the meal together? We talking not Top Chef. What's it called? What's the one? It's not Top Chef. What is it? Top Chef is one of those things. Whatever. One of those Food Network shows. When you put the ingredients, they got to prepare something. That's what it is. We got the ingredients. We just need somebody to be able to cook that meal. Can Dable do it? Can Shane Bowen do it? Can Mike Kafka do it? Can those guys do it? That's the biggest question mark. But the players, the ingredients are there for sure. My man Dope Dez says, I believe. Shout out to you. Because I believe too, brother. I absolutely believe. All right, so let me get to the next point. So we got minicamp coming up, right? Minicamp is 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's next week. Shout out to my oldest son. His birthday is on Monday. So early birthday to my oldest. But yeah, his birthday is 16th. But the 17th, 18th, 19th, we got mandatory minicamp. Everybody's in the building. A week ago, I had high hopes of possibly, okay, we're going to finally see Malik Neighbors in team activity. We're going to finally see Dexter Lawrence in team activity, but I'm not sure. Not sure because it's all about maintaining and making sure that, the load is light for these guys. So we still might not get a chance to see Malik Neighbors in minicamp, and I'm starving for it right now. Pause. Let me know what you guys do. You guys think that we'll see Malik Neighbors in team activities for the mandatory minicamp? Let me know. Dexter Lawrence as well. He's another guy that's been out there, but not, in individual drills, but not in team activity. Are we going to see Dexter Lawrence or Malik Neighbors? Do you even care about seeing these guys in minicamp? Or do you just want to wait for training camp? Let me know in the comment section about that. What are you guys seeing? And then also, let me know, as far as with the OTAs, who has been the surprising standout for OTAs so far? Those two questions I have for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Darius Alexander is another one, Darnell. That's a fact. And an undisclosed injury, too. We're trying to figure that out. They won't give us any information on what his injury is. Ryan Dable said the same thing. At least they let us know that it was an injury and that he's making progress. But I don't know if it's progress from a surgery. Did he have surgery? Did he hurt himself at rookie minicamp? Was it something that happened away from, the facility? What I wish I knew what's going on with Darius Alexander. He's out there with no helmet. I mean, that's good that he's even out there. But I want to know what's going on. They won't even let him get a helmet. Luann says, yes, I want to see them. I do too. I mean, Dex, I'm not really worried about. But Malik Neighbors, I definitely want to see him out there, getting that chemistry with Russ. And a training camp would be long enough for him to gain chemistry as well. But I just want to see it. Me being selfish, a selfish New York Giants fan, I do want to see it. My man Leo Lucas says, I don't think Neighbors and Lawrence will participate. Rest them until it counts. Yeah, I want to see him. Me being a greedy person, I want to see him. But I understand if we don't see him. I understand. Like, again, and I'm not worried about Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is that guy. Dexter Lawrence is that guy. Malik Neighbors, I need to see that chemistry. Luann says she loves sexy Dexy. Now, a lot of people do. But let me know what you guys think about that, man. But before I thought, yeah, we're gonna finally see Malik Neighbors. Now I don't know. I hope so, because that tells me two things: that he's healthy enough to be out there and participating. But if we don't see Malik Neighbors next week in minicamp, we got this long break before training camp starts. Like what, 3-4 weeks? A month? Actually, yeah, like a month. Because John Schmoke said there's no official date for the start of training camp, but they said somewhere around the 23rd or the 24th. Mandatory minicamp will be over by the 19th. We're talking over 30 days of no activity. You'll see a bunch of, if you follow a lot of Giants players, that time between minicamp ending and training camp, that's when they go on vacation. The last vacation they have, the last chance they get to spend with their families before the season starts, before the grind of the season starts. So, yeah, we won't see Malik for a month. If that's the case, I would like to see him though. And then outside that, the most surprising player for me, as far as OTAs go, giving people kudos, it got to be Jaylen Hyatt for me. It got to be Jaylen Hyatt to come in with so many questions, and so many doubters. And again, we're talking about practice at the end of the day still, but he's had every practice. Dart to Hyatt, Wilson to Hyatt, Jameis to Hyatt. Every practice they're making plays. Darius Slayton quietly too. A lot of those highlights you see Darius Slayton, deep passes, 2 touchdown practices. in 11 on 11, 7 on 7, they out there cooking. So for me, but Jaylen Hyatt for me, and it's not just about the hat, but Jaylen Hyatt for me is he's the key to a lot of things, because if we can get the best out of Jaylen Hyatt, we're not talking about Gabe Davis, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. I'm tripping. But we're not talking about that. If Jaylen Hyatt ends up being the guy that we expect him to be. We drafted him in the 3rd round. We gave up a 4th pick to move up to get him. We need him to be the guy so we can close these doors on all these questions that we have of Malik Neighbors needing a sidekick. It's also disrespectful to Darius Slayton. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. Another happy Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers out there, man. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hopefully tomorrow you guys enjoy your socks, your ties, your t-shirts, your undergarments. You know, if you're lucky, maybe you get a cologne. Breakfast, dinner, maybe your family take you out for breakfast. You know, shout out to those guys. You know what I mean? Happy Father's Day. Oh man, what's the next point? I'm trying to get to all my notes, man, before we get out of here. All right. Evan is back up. Talk about that. Talk about the Abdul Carter footage. Talked about Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson's leadership. Yeah, I hit all my points. I'm surprised I hit all my points. Phil says Neighbors is plug and play. I'm good with him healing for now. Luann giving all the fathers out there a shout out, saying Happy Father's Day to the guys. Now, shout out to you, Luann. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, man, I'm excited. You know, moving into minicamp. Not sure how I'm going to approach the break. Again, we got 4 months off. Players won't even be in the building. Well, some players will still be in the building. And I'm curious to see, do I take a break? Do I still come out and talk on Saturdays for the late night Giants talk? I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with that. Shout out to my big brother. Says, where is the handy dandy notepad? You see the notepad? I keep the notepad on me. You see the notepad? Handy dandy notebook is always there. Blues Clues, you know what it is. Robbie Garn says, hey fam, what's up? What's going on, Robbie? Happy Father's Day if you are a father. Yeah, I done went through all the notes, man. I hit all the points. A nice, smooth episode, man. I'm not gonna keep you guys too much longer. I'm gonna get through the rest of these. Comments. Last little bit of comments. Anybody got any questions? Let me know. If not, we're gonna wrap this thing up. It's been a fantastic Saturday, vibing with everybody. 96 people in the building. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel that you go ahead and do that. Like I always say, if you are a New York Giants fan and you're not subscribed to this channel, shame on you. Shame on you, but you can fix that by hitting that like and subscribe button right now. We are on the road to 10,000 subs. Just cracked 8,000 subs. And yeah, I'm loving it. Shout out to what's going on, Deb. Deb been hanging out, been hiding. Shout out to Deb. Hope everything's going good for you on this Saturday night. My man Mark Rome says, has Scott signed his rookie contract yet? No, he hasn't. We have not seen the news of him signing his contract yet, unless it happened today and I didn't see it. But no, he hasn't. But I'm assuming they got to get that done. I don't know what the holdup is. It's a rookie wage scale for a reason. Unless you're trying to do something shady like the Bengals are doing to Shamar Stewart, where they try to put all these clauses in there on his contract, and he's fighting that. But as far as I know, well, I know for sure he didn't sign his contract yet. Like I said, unless that happened today sometime. And I've been watching the news wire for the Giants, and I have not seen that yet. But I don't know what's taking so long with Scat. But I believe was he 4th round pick? I don't even think he's going to count against the top 51 contract. So it shouldn't even be an issue with getting this contract done. So I'm curious to see what happens with that, though, for sure. Dope Dud says, Happy Father's Day, Big Dash. Happy Father's Day to the entire room, to all the fathers out there. Shout out to y'all. My man Phil says, peace out, Dash. Yeah, we wrapping this thing up. Shout out to everybody. Again, make sure you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button. Let everybody know that we in the building. We're in the building, whatever. But Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. So with that being said, let me check my comments really quickly too, make sure I don't miss anybody. I'm gonna give you guys the last chance to put your comments in there. I'll let it rock for like we'll do another minute, and then I'll shut it down. My man Robbie Gunn says, if you aren't watching this channel, what are you doing? Shout out to you. Thank you for the love and support. And that's to everybody, for everybody. My man Robbie says, God, peace out, God bless you. We're gonna wrap this thing up. So with that being said, next week we still gonna keep the show. We're gonna wrap up. We're gonna talk about the mandatory minicamp and see, hopefully, we get to see some of these other players out there on the field that we haven't seen yet. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Oh, hold on. Record prediction. Wavy, you just got that in there. I'm going 10-7 for the Giants. Way too early. I'm going 10-7 for the Giants, and that's it, though. And let me go ahead and get my outro done. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.
We got to